What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 188. And is it already week 7's review? I can't believe that time has gone by that quickly, that 7 weeks are already in the books in the Bigs. With me tonight, as always, from Denver, Colorado, Jason Ashby. Jason, our Metsies fall 3-1 this evening. Not looking all that great, but how are you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It was a fun matchup with Henry in week 7. And as for our Metsies, you know what? We knew they were going to hit a skid eventually. I just hope that they built up enough equity in the first quarter of the season that, they can withstand a couple of bumps here in mid-May. And hopefully as the weather, continues to warm up, they get better and they can figure out what's going on with the offense because they're all asleep right now.
Yeah, we're still in first place, fortunately enough. Let's see if we can
Barely.
hold on to that play. Yeah, the Phillies are playing the Rockies this week, so we'll see how we're rooting for the Rockies. Apparently, great,
Yeah, go
great,
figure. But last I checked,
wonderful.
they were winning. So there's that.
Yeah, the Rockies are up 1-0 right now. We'll see if that continues.
Yep.
Let's hope for the best. Let's dive into this thing. We had ourselves one hell of a week this week, and we're going to kick it off with the matchup that was front and center. It was the rematch of the 2023 championship. It is the Haber brothers taking on each other, with Mike getting himself a 14-6 victory this week. On Sunday, Mike flipped doubles because he got 4 of those on a Sunday. Way to go, Mike. And he untied saves and relief appearances in his favor. So close categories this week. Mike wins by 3 doubles, a walk, 2 saves, 10 ticks on the whip, and 3 relief appearances. Josh wins by 4 1/3, 2 homers and 3 walks, and they tied in losses. For Mike on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 26. That is a 115 batting average with a run, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 11 strikeouts. The 11 strikeouts would have lost him that category had they stayed in. So good job there, Mike. For his moves this week, only 5 of them. He added Jock Peterson over 2 with a walk, Evan Carter over 3 with a steal, Aaron Bummer did not appear, Sean Armstrong, who got him a save, and Hayden Birdsong for this week.
Yep.
The key players this week, his MVP is not Akil Baddoo, but it is Pete Crow Armstrong, who
Yeah.
is he's lighting the world on fire. 458 with a 462 on base, 5 runs, a double, 2 triples, 2 homers, 10 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. This kid's on fire.
I mean, just imagine, like, with all due respect to Tyrone Taylor, imagine if this kid was patrolling center field for the Mets instead of Tyrone Taylor. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I think
this,
about that very often whenever Javi Baez gets another hit. Like, screw
yeah,
that guy. It wasn't
yeah,
worth it then. It's still not worth it now. He should have been our
yeah.
center fielder.
This one's gonna haunt us for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we got to hope that like Jet Williams or Clifford or somebody is serviceable either out there or in some way that we got them in a trade back. So
Yeah,
that's what we got to hope for.
yeah.
The least valuable hitter this week goes to Pete Alonso, 174 with a 200 on base percentage, a double, 3 RBIs, a walk, 9 strikeouts, and an error. Pete's still hitting over 300, and he's got plenty of bombs and RBIs. We just got to see him pick it up here. Lately, he's been a little cold.
Yeah, yeah, and the same thing could be said for the top three of the lineup. They're all just kind of asleep right now, like I said. But that's baseball. There's gonna be ebbs and flows. Eventually, they'll pick it back up.
No doubt. No doubt. And it could be as early as tomorrow against Walker
Exactly.
Bueller. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Cy Young this week goes to Jesus Luzardo. 7 innings, a win, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 1.29 and a 1. And the Cy Young goes to Jared Koenig, an inning and 2/3, a 16, 20, and a 3 across 3 relief appearances. For Josh on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 29. That's a 103 batting average with 3 runs, an RBI, 2 steals, and 7 strikeouts. None of it plays. Very nicely done, Josh. For his moves this week, he used 10 of them. Adrian Morejon, Jamison Tyon off waivers, 6 innings and a loss against Miami. Ernie Clement, 2 for 4 with a bomb. Colin Snyder, Dalton Rushing in his MLB debut, 2 for 4 with 3 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Was that the 19-5 game? Was that the
I believe so. 19-2. Yeah, 19-2
Yeah.
against the A's. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Mhm.
He added Matt
Yeah.
Shaw to his NA. He is now playing. He has a single this evening. Jacob Webb for a relief appearance. Anthony Bender for a clean relief appearance. Miguel Vargas 2 for 3 with a homer, and DJ LeMahieu 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. His MVP this week goes to Zach Neto, who's been lighting it up for the Angels here the last week or so. 333 with a 393, 7 runs, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Christian Walker, 111 with a 172, a run, a double, a homer, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and an error. This dude still isn't hitting? No,
He's
he's
really
hitting
not.
207.
207 with 5 homers, 19 RBIs.
That's not good. It's not good at
I
all.
mean, I'm not saying I told you so, but
Yeah, you told us so, buddy. You had Nathaniel Lowe higher than him.
yeah, which he's not much better, but at least I'm right about something.
But the theory was right that he was too old to be doing this and that maybe the decline was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Framber Valdez. How you feel about that?
Yeah, you had to figure the turnaround was coming because he was pretty bad when Josh first got him from me, but his last few times out have been really just Framber like. So good for him.
Yeah.
I hope it works out because I want this trade to be fair.
Yeah. For Framber, it was 15 innings and a win, 2 walks, 15 strikeouts, a 240 and an 093 this week. On the season, he's still doing really pretty good, right? 357 with a strikeout an inning. Yeah, that's serviceable as a 2.
Yeah, yeah, and it seems like he's getting better as the season rolls along. So, those numbers should start to normalize a little bit.
I think so. I think he's in for better days. The Cy Young goes to Tim Herron, who threw a third of an inning with a loss of 54 and a 6. He just blew up in the one appearance he made for Josh's team.
Yeah.
As for these guys, I mean, look, they're going to be in the hunt. They're in third and fourth place right now. I kind of wish they were facing each other this week rather than last week, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I always look forward to this matchup in the regular season or in the finals. It's just always fun to see these two guys who are so dedicated and so so committed to the strategy. To see them face off like this is always fun, and a 14-6 win for Mike is great, but I don't think the score speaks to the level of competition that these two had against each other.
Yeah, no, this was in Mike's favor for most of the week, but it got really hairy toward the end there. It was 11-7 going into the into Sunday in Mike's favor. So this could have gone either way if Sunday was a bit different for Josh.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next matchup here, buddy. It's going to be Ben Nisman taking on Cody Pyatt. This was a lot of fun to watch. Cody had this thing for a good portion of the week, but Ben flipped it on its ear on the weekend. On Sunday, Cody flipped ERA, but Ben took too many losses. He took 2 of them on Sunday. But he tied runs and flipped RBIs on a single swing of the bat from Will Smith late in the Dodgers game. A 3-run bomb gave him RBIs and tied runs. Close categories this week. Ben wins by 2 doubles, an RBI, and an error. Cody wins by 2 runs, 3 strikeouts by a pitcher, 4 ticks on the ERA, and 5 ticks on the whip. They tied in runs, triples, and losses. For Benjamin on his bench this week, he goes 2 for 16. That is a 125 batting average with a run that would have won the category, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The run is on Saturday. It's a 1 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout along with the run. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's Luis Angel Acuna who didn't even start the game.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, that was never gonna be in.
Not gonna get it in the lineup. Used all 10 moves this week. Eniel De Los Santos, who took a loss on Wednesday. Scott Barlow had a bad relief appearance. Anthony Bonda had a clean relief appearance the day he picked him up, but lost the Sunday night game. that cost Ben that category.
Mhm.
Luis Garcia for a clean relief appearance. Miles Michaelis, 6 innings, nothing earned, a win against Kansas City. Noah Cameron on the other side, 6 1/3, a loss, 1 earned run, and 3 strikeouts against St. Louis. And Carlos Narvaez, 1 for 3 with a run, a walk, and a strikeout. That run certainly important. Then on Sunday, Michael Soroka, 5 2/3 and a win. Luis Ortiz, 5 innings and a loss against Cincinnati. And Chase Dollander, who was benched, he would have flipped strikeouts, but he also would have lost losses in this scenario if he had played him. So take your pick there on what you want.
Yeah, I don't play Rockies pitchers, even not in Coors Field. No thanks.
Yeah. Javier Baez is the MVP this week. I can't believe I'm saying that. It is a 250 with a 280 on base, 5 runs, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. On the season, he's hitting over 300, isn't he?
He's at 291 right now.
Okay.
Pretty damn close though. 21
He's
runs, 6
for his
homers,
last
28
7.
RBIs.
So.
Yeah, he's like he got off to a slow start, but I feel like ever
Mhm.
since they moved him to center field, he's a whole new player.
Yeah, all of a sudden we're seeing him not chasing that low and outside slider that everybody has been throwing him for the last 3 years to a ton of success.
Yeah, I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks.
I guess so. The least valuable hitter is Luis Angel Acuna, an 083 with a 154 on base, a run, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to either Ranger Suarez or Christopher Sanchez or Noah Cameron or Miles Michaelis. I mean,
So
this was
the Noah Cameron Miles Michaelis that was a great pickup by Ben because they faced each other in that game and that was a 1-0 score and both pitchers pitched really well. I mean, Cameron ended up with the loss, Michaelis ended up with the win. Both of them pitched beautifully. That was a really good pairing by Ben.
absolutely. Also, shout out to Nate Eovaldi, who had 5 2/3 shutout.
Yep.
It was a really good pitching week for both of these guys. Unfortunately, Ben gets the short end of the stick with a 293 and a 107.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean they both pitched to a sub 3 and just over 1 whip. Like that works usually.
Yeah, and each of them had over 80 strikeouts. Like you would think you would win every week throwing 84 strikeouts, but no, not this
I
week.
mean and 75 innings for Cody, 83 innings for Ben. Like there's volume there.
A lot of volume. The Cy Young for Ben goes to Eniel De Los Santos and Anthony Banda. Both of those guys took losses. De Los Santos, a 54 ERA and a 9 whip. Banda was not all that good either. 3 innings, a loss, a 3 in 2 relief appearances, but he did give up a home run late. So,
yeah,
tough luck there for him. But he still won the week. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 7 for 32. That is a 219 batting average with 2 runs that would have won the category, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs that would have won the category, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Looks like there was a homer and an RBI on Wednesday and a double and 2 RBIs on Sunday.
Yeah, the homer on Wednesday came from Sal Frelick. I guess maybe you start him over Alex Call. That could have worked. Alex Call went 0 for the game. That would have done it.
Yeah. 10 moves this week for Cody. He added Sal Frelick off of waivers, and he hit a solo home run the day he picked him up, so good job there. IKF 0 for 5 with a steal. Patrick Corbin, a good start against Colorado at home, 6 innings, a win, 9 strikeouts. Taylor Rogers, Nick Kurtz 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Adrian Morihone, a loss and a home run in a relief appearance. Jake Irvin, 6 1/3, a win and 6 strikeouts against Baltimore. And finished it out with Jonathan Loizaga, who had a clean relief appearance on the bench. Ian Hamilton, who was dropped during the game for Chase Mydroth. Both of those guys could have gotten into the game, and they didn't. Or Loizaga did. Hamilton did as well, but both of them were off of the team by that point. So
yeah, it wouldn't really have mattered.
Wouldn't have mattered. The MVP this week goes to Jose Ramirez, who has been just tearing the cover off the ball for this team. This week, 364 with a 440, 7 runs, a double, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and 3 walks. Not a single strikeout on the week because, of course, not.
No,
For the season, he's got 9 homers, 12 steals, and a 296 batting average. Definitely top notch. Top notch.
that'll play.
That'll definitely play. The least valuable hitter this week goes to Wilyer Abreu, 176 batting average and on base with a run, a homer, an RBI, 3 strikeouts, and an error. Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I also want to call out to Kyle Stowers, who had a good week too,
Mm-hmm.
with 3 homers and 4 RBIs. He's been a bright spot for this lousy Marlins team, and I know I had him for like a day, and I let go of him. I think he had like a shoulder problem or something he was banged up, and I let him go. I regret that.
Yeah. Hitting over 300 with 10 homers and 30 RBIs. That certainly is like we said, somebody had to succeed in the Marlins lineup. Who knew it was going to be this kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cy Young this week for Cody goes to Merrill Kelly. 14 innings, 2 wins, 3 walks, 19 strikeouts, an 064 and an 086. Absolutely outstanding work from Merrill Kelly this week. It was 2 7-inning starts in San Francisco and at home against Colorado.
Yeah. Another guy that I dropped that fell into Cody's team.
Stop doing that, man.
I know there are more actually. There are more.
Yenier Cano is the Cy Young this week. An inning and 2/3, a loss, a bomb, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 21.60 and a 2.40. This dude pitched to a 2.89 ERA and a 1.02 WHIP. So it's a great, great week for Cody.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
here we are with Ben in first place.
yeah, and I gotta say it. Like 4 days into week one, he's calling me bent out of shape because Bobby was hitting the cover off the ball. He had like, I don't know, 6 home runs on him or something like that. And I'm like, Ben, it's 4 days into week one.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. You're gonna be fine. And here he is in first place.
Yeah.
So Ben, you're fine.
Yeah. He's going to be just fine. He's definitely going to be in the playoff hunt. And so is Cody. I mean, this loss does nothing but keep him right in the middle of the pack toward the
Yeah.
playoff hunt.
Yeah, he's 2 games under 500. Like,
Yeah.
he'll
You
make that
make
up.
that up. Yeah, you make that up in a week
Yeah,
very
yeah,
easily.
he'll be fine. Jordan Alvarez is gonna come back soon and like light the world on fire again. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he'll be just fine.
Yeah, Cody's going to be just fine. I hope Benji's team all goes to sleep this week because I get to face him. It's 1 versus 2. That's going to be an
Yes,
interesting.
that's gonna be the main event matchup this week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope Christopher Sanchez is getting bombed out in Colorado, though. I hope so for more than one reason.
It is 2-0 right now.
All right, I'll take that. All right, let's move on to my matchup here with Chris Levy. I took down a 13-6 victory, and on Sunday, I untied relief appearances. Levy flipped batting average and on-base percentage with Aaron Judge in the night game and tied walks by a pitcher to draw closer. 13-6 coming out. It was 15-4 in my favor going in. Close categories this week. I win by the triple, 3 walks, 3 home runs by a pitcher and a relief appearance. Levy wins by a steal, 0.0003 ticks on the on-base percentage. Thank you very much, Aaron Judge. You suck.
Yep.
And 3 strikeouts by a pitcher. We tied in saves and walks by a pitcher. For me on my bench this week, I go 7 for 32. That is a 219 batting average. 3 runs, 4 doubles, 2 RBIs, a walk, 9 strikeouts, and an error. None of it plays except for the fact that the on-base percentage was that close, so getting the walk or a hit in would have been helpful. The easiest way to get it in is Michael Conforto on Tuesday, who hit 3 fucking doubles. It's like the best game of his season so far.
Yeah, that's probably like the only few doubles he's hit all year, right?
Yeah. He's been atrocious, and he's off my team.
Yeah.
For my moves this week, I used 10 of them. Garrett Whitlock was very bad. Landon Knack was not as bad against the Athletics, but he did take a loss. Drake Baldwin, 3 for 4 with 3 runs, a double, a homer, and 2 RBIs the day I picked him up. Gregory Soto for a clean relief appearance. Randy Vasquez, 6 innings and a win against the Angels. Zach Littell, 7 1/3 and a win against Toronto. Ryan Stanek was on the bench. Drake Baldwin hit me another home run on Saturday. Yu Darvish is set to come back off the IL. I don't know how nobody had him locked up, but he's going to sit on my IL for now. And finally, Orion Kerkering with the clean relief appearance on Sunday to get me that category. For my most valuable hitter this week, this might set a record for best batting average on a week. It's Hai-Song Kim, who absolutely was disgusting.
I mean, it was 3 games, but holy shit.
Yeah. 875 average, 900 on base percentage. 5 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, and 2 walks. And you're right, it was only 3 games, but those 3 games were magical.
Yeah. 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 2 for 3.
Yep, with 4 runs in that 3 for 3. That was the 19-2 clubbing of the A's.
Yeah. And like he hit a home run the day before that. Like, yeah, this kid is gonna be something good.
Yeah, I think so. Christian
And
Campbell is again.
He's gonna get center field, so he'll have the same eligibility as Tommy Edman. That's quite a pairing.
That could be. It could be very nice, especially if they find playing time for everybody. I think Michael Conforto's playing time might be becoming a question because Teoscar is going to come back. He plays right. He is back. So you have to play Andy Pages too.
Yeah.
So he's in left.
And they sent Outman back to AAA. So yeah, Conforto might be next.
Yeah, Conforto's playing time may be in jeopardy. Christian Campbell's my least valuable hitter this week. 077 with a 143, a run, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Second week in a row, this kid's been cold. Might have to ride the pine for a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? They're trying him out at first base, so maybe that'll do something.
Different eligibility, that certainly helps, but it's not the eligibility I want. I want him to have left field eligibility. That would be nice. Be helpful. The Cy Young goes to Logan Webb, who has been the anchor of this staff. 8 innings, a win, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 1.13 and an 0.88. He's the only pitcher I can realistically rely on a week-to-week basis. But okay.
But you are getting Spencer Strider back tomorrow, so there's that.
I am. That's gonna be helpful. The Cy Young goes to Landon Knack, who did have 8 strikeouts, but pitched to a 964 and a 171 against the Athletics. Gross.
Yeah.
For Levy on his bench this week, he goes 13 for 37. That is a 351 batting average with 6 runs that would have won the category. 3 doubles, a homer, 5 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. There is a couple of interesting things on the bench here. Anthony Volpe on Monday hit a home run, and Abrams was 0 for 4. Tuesday, Riley was on the bench, and Volpe was 0 for 3 with a strikeout in the utility spot. On Friday, it looks like Chandler Simpson went 3 for 3 with a steal and 2 runs, and Pavin Smith did not play in left field. So there's a few things that happened.
Yeah, that one, the Friday one, that's a big one.
Yeah. He used all 10 moves this week. Drew Pomeranz for a save. Pavin Smith 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Simeon Woods Richardson was bad in his no decision. Manuel Rodriguez got him a clean relief appearance. Logan Allen was very good. 6 innings and a win, nothing earned against Milwaukee. Wilmer Flores was a waste, and he went 2 for 4 on the day that he was wasted. Kike Hernandez was actually the player, 1 for 4 with an error. Pavin Smith back on the roster. Alex Vesia off of waivers, who gave up a solo homer in relief. And Andre Palante, 7 innings and a win, a 2.57 and a 1 against Kansas City. Waiver claim on Alex Vesia.
Yeah, that didn't really work.
I'm sitting there that morning waiting for Alex Vesia to come off of waivers so that I can pick him up. And not only was he claimed, but Cody put in a claim for him too.
Yeah. Dodgers reliever. Those are the guys to have.
I guess so. I guess it was that important.
Yeah.
His MVP this week goes to Aaron Judge, and I mean, of course, it went to Aaron Judge. The guy hit 348 with a 467 on base percentage this week. 5 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 2 RBIs, 6 walks, and 9 strikeouts. But Rafael Devers also had a great week as well. 348 with a 444, pair of homers, and 7 RBIs.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gabriel Moreno, who hit 412. Ryan O'Hearn hit 292. Chandler Simpson hit 353. Like, this was a really great week for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he hit what 285. I mean, both of you had the 359 on base, but the
Mhm.
285 average is pretty strong.
Yeah, absolutely. The least valuable hitter is Austin Riley, 280 with a 357 on base percentage, 5 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, a steal, 3 walks. Yeah, it sounds like a great week. 5 strikeouts and 2 errors. Oops,
There goes that.
there goes that. Not a good week. Not a good week for Austin Riley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andre Palante is the Cy Young for that 7 inning win against Kansas City. And the Cy Young goes to Aaron Nola, who just can't seem to find his shit. And now he's on the IL after a 3 2/3, a loss, 3 bombs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 22.09, and a 355. He is just an absolute mess this year.
Yeah, yeah, and this is the first year of that contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oops. I mean, I guess you got to hope that, it'll work itself out. He's still only 30, 31 years old, so but it's an ankle problem that's on the he's on the IL for now, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, they lose him. They lose Alvarado for 80 games, and he's off of
Mhm.
my team. So fuck that guy. Uh,
I am surprised that Logan Allen didn't stick on this team after six shutout innings
yeah,
and a win. I mean,
yeah.
he got dropped for the Palante start, so it like the payoff was there, but
Mhm.
I was just surprised that after a good start like that, you might keep him around for a bit.
Yeah, you can't hang on to him and drop somebody else for Palante.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay.
Well, I'm in second place. How the hell is this happening? I honestly don't know. Like, I don't think this team, like, my pitching is awful.
Yeah, but the
Awful.
Dodgers,
But the Dodgers, but the
Dodgers
Dodgers,
and the Braves. I mean, that's
Dodgers and Braves. And I'm getting Acuna back probably this week.
yeah. You're getting Acuna and Strider back.
Hmm. And it has to happen against Ben. I like that.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
like
if it's
that a
gonna
lot.
happen, that's when it's got to happen, right?
Yep. Chris is 20 games out. I don't call him dead yet, but he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, yeah, and just the little things, starting Simpson over Pavin Smith, like doing those things. Those are the things that are going to help you dig out of that hole.
Yeah. Be a little bit more attentive, attention to detail, that type of thing, and you can dig out of this thing.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, it's time to talk about your 10-10 tie with Henry. How you feeling after this one, man?
I went once again. I went to bed feeling pretty good because I thought I won 11-10, and I woke up to find out that stat corrections hit me once again.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing changed on Sunday. It was pretty clean all the way in, but Vientos gets another error, and that ends up tying that category, buddy.
Yeah, and it's the same exact thing as the week before. It was Mark Vientos getting an error on Monday, from stat corrections.
What a pain in the ass stat
Yeah,
corrections are. They're
yeah,
they're terrible. Close categories this week, Jason. You won by 2 doubles and the steal. Henry won by a win, a save, 5 ticks on the whip, and 3 relief appearances. And you guys tied in that error thanks to the stat correction. On your bench this week, sir, you went 10 for 48. That is a 208 batting average with 4 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, and an error that would have lost you the category. Good job.
yeah. My offense played this week,
Mm-hmm.
so like, and there was a point where I was like, even on Friday, I was thinking about shutting it all down because I was afraid of the error,
Mm-hmm.
but like. I could just see my luck. I shut everything down, and he gets two triples, and that would tie the category or something. Something would have gone haywire. So I was like, no,
Mhm.
I'll play everybody. I'll just Then I just went to just playing DHs so that only there were no errors. Like I did not want that last error, and of course I ended up getting it anyway because of fucking stack corrections.
Yep. Yep. You hit the 3.25, man. That was really good this week. It was
Thank you.
really, really good this week. 10 moves you used this week. It looks like Kiter Montero to start it off in a 3 1/3 inning relief appearance. He was not good.
No.
Kevin Ginkel for a clean relief appearance. Taj Bradley off of waivers, who was awful. Looks like 4 innings, a loss, and 11.25 ERA. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is against Miami. And these are the things so my offense was really good. My pitching was awful, and
Mm,
it's things like that. I was relying on a guy like Taj Bradley to dominate the Marlins, and nope, couldn't do that.
no chance. No chance. Kyle Manzardo got you a triple. Will Warren, 5 innings and a no decision, nothing earned against Seattle. Mike Vassell, whoever that is garbage in his relief appearance. Zebby Matthews was terrible against Milwaukee. Miguel Andujar, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Lucas Giolito was even worse against Atlanta. And Jeffrey Springs was okay against San Francisco in a no
Yeah,
decision.
but couldn't get me the win that I needed. And Zebby Matthews, I mean, here I am thinking to myself, how the hell are the Twins winning like 11 games in a row, 12 games in a row? But okay, I'll jump on the train. This kid, was lighting it up in the minor leagues. The Brewers aren't great. Let me throw this kid and see if I can sneak into a win. No, he like Sunday was just awful for pitching for me.
Mhm.
And the Kyle Manzardo, I only picked him up because the rain out. There was the Cardinals got rained out, so I had opening at first base. I was like, you know what? Let me pick up Manzardo. Maybe he'll get me a bomb. Got me a triple instead. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that'll do. That's
Yeah,
certainly a nice thing to pick up off free agency. It's a
yeah,
Your MVP this week is everybody on the team because you hit 325 with a 372 on base and 11 homers, 45 runs scored, 19 doubles, 31 RBIs. Yeah, you tore the cover off of the ball. The only person that didn't was fucking Mark Vientos.
yeah. I don't know what to do with this guy. I really
Yeah.
don't.
He did hit 286 with a 267, but probably just a 2 for 7 as in your lineup. A double, an RBI, 4 strikeouts, and an error. The error being the one that cost you the category.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at this point, I think I'm only gonna be playing him when when he's DHing, because I can't trust that he's not gonna make an error,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's been a big disappointment.
Yeah, yeah. I just hope that this offense gets turned around. I mean, he's been disappointing. Brett Beatty hasn't really been hitting lately. Soto is what Soto is right now.
Yeah, I
We're
mean
just.
Alvarez looked good tonight. He hit a couple of base hits to the right
Mhm.
side, so like maybe he started to pick it up. Is looking okay, but the thumpers really need to start thumping.
No doubt. No doubt. You got to get it in gear because the Phillies and Braves are coming.
Yes, hot.
Yeah. The Cy Young this week for you is Nick Pivetta, 6 innings, a homer, a walk, 7 strikeouts, a 150, and an 050. With a shout out to Jeffrey Springs, 6 2/3, 135, no decision.
Yeah, Pivetta.
So
I watched that game. He gave up a home run. I forget who. Oh, Rowdy Tellez. He gave up a home run to Rowdy Tellez, and that was it. The Padres could not answer that, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, he's pitching his balls off. Score a run for him, and they just could not.
nope.
I just
Nope.
needed one win.
Tough luck, man. Tough luck. Lucas Giolito was really terrible for you. 13.50 ERA, 250 whip, 3 bombs over 4 innings. Not very good. Zebby Matthews had a 12 ERA. Ryan Thompson was bad in his 2 relief appearances, and Taj Bradley had an 11.25 ERA. It wasn't the best.
No,
Wasn't as
and it's
good as
funny
it could
because
have
I
been.
came out of the draft thinking, okay, my pitching is all right. My offense needs help, and this week proved completely the opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? It's only 1 week, and you didn't lose.
Right. Right.
So,
I feel fine.
yeah,
I'm what, seven?
7 under?
Is that seven? Uh,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
7.
7 under.
Yeah. So I'm right there. I'm
Yeah.
okay.
All right. For Henry on his bench this week, he goes 7 for 54. That is a 130 batting average. 4 runs, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 8 walks, and 20 strikeouts that would have lost him the category. So good job keeping those out of your lineup. An interesting play on Friday where Terang had 2 steals, but Marte was 0 for 4 in the lineup. Dominguez had a stolen base on the bench, and Grisham was over 3 in the lineup. Just an interesting situation he's got with Terang and Marte now and the outfield.
Yeah, and it's hard because Marte's back from injury. He's not playing quite every day, but most days. But I feel like he's a guy who you put in there. If he's playing, you put him in there. But then right, what are you doing with Bryce Terang, who is doing okay? He's still stealing bases, but he's not doing a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot else. So I don't know. It is like you're right. It is a tough situation to be in. I don't know how to manage that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, but it's an embarrassment of riches for this team offensively.
Yeah.
9 moves this week from Henry. Nolan Shanuel over 4 with an RBI and a walk. Hobie Milner for a clean 2 inning relief appearance. Justin Sterner for a clean relief appearance. Logan Henderson, 5 innings, a win, 7 strikeouts at Cleveland. I was mad when he picked that guy up because
Mhm.
I wanted to stream him again. That would have been very nice. Steven Matt's relief appearance loss in a doubleheader. That was terrible.
Yep.
Chad Patrick, 6 innings, a loss, a 450 and a 150 against Minnesota. Herman Marquez, 3 innings, a no decision, a 15 and a 333. Stop doing this. Stop.
So
Stop with Marquez.
this was Saturday. So I had Giolito and he had Herman Marquez. They both pitched horribly, but both of them avoided getting a loss. The Rockies ended up winning that game, and the Red Sox won that game too on a walk off.
Hmm.
But yet I ended up getting on that day 2 relief losses from Mason Miller and Ryan Thompson. So
Oof.
like, both of our starters are garbage. Except for Pavetta also pitched that day. He pitched great, couldn't get the win. Marquez and Giolito avoided the losses, but I get losses from Mason Miller and Ryan Thompson.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yucky day. Henry finished out his week by adding Ronnie Henriquez for a clean relief appearance and Caleb Ort, who didn't come into the game. The MVP this week goes to Vlad Guerrero Jr., because of course it does. Who else would it go to on this team? 316 with a 500 on base percentage, 5 runs, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, 7 walks, 2 strikeouts, and an error. The 7 walks almost covered your entire total.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. He and that but that was the only real positive offensive category that he won, so
Mhm.
he needed that. But yeah, I had 12 for the week and Vlad had 7.
Yeah. Yeah. The least valuable hitter goes to Stephen Kwan. He might be a little bit disappointing this year. I don't think he's coming around as much as everybody had hoped. 158 with a 238 on base, a run, a double, a steal, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. How's he doing on the season so far?
He's hitting 311.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
4 homers,
Seven
17
steals.
RBI,
Yeah.
and 7 steals. He's doing all right. It's just that they're kind of few and far between. Like there's a lot of offers going on too.
Okay. I know that we were, or at least people were saying that he might have a power surge coming this year after hitting double digit homers last year. Don't know if that's going to happen, but he's already up to 4.
I mean, he could. Yeah, I mean, you could see like 10 or 12 maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Michael Waka is the Cy Young this week, wherever he is. He goes 11 and a third, a win, a bomb, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 238, and a 159. And the Cy Young goes to Herman Marquez, although Ryan Zefferjohn was also pretty terrible in his one relief appearance.
Yeah.
Man, Henry is not fooling anybody this year. We have him locked into the 5th spot right now. He's 10 games over. He's not shocking anybody. This is a real competitor this year.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I knew that going in. I knew that this was not going to be, a cakewalk or anything that I can just kind of relax on. Like I knew I had to fight this week,
Mhm.
and we both did. We both did, and the score showed it.
Absolutely. I really, really want to see you pick up a win this week and get off the non-winning streak, sir.
Yeah, I have Mike Sherman this week. He's coming
Okay.
off of a win, so I'm hoping that yeah, I know he's always played me tough. And we'll talk about it next, but Sundays are always a thing with me and him, and they were again this week too. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
I'm interested to
maybe
see how this week goes.
maybe you avoid it this week because he had such a great Sunday last week. Let's dive
Yeah.
into it, man. He takes a 12-7 win over Costas Paragas, who has started to fade a little bit here in the most recent weeks, but hopefully he can right the ship. On Sunday, Mike Costas Sherman took a loss, so Costas untied that and got the win there. But Sherman flipped runs, homers, and walks, and untied RBIs. It's four categories on a Sunday.
I've been there. I've been on the receiving end of that from Mike Sherman, and it is no joy.
No, it is a kick right in the nuts when
Yes,
he does that.
exactly.
Close categories this week. Sherman wins by 2 home runs, a walk, a save, and 2 home runs by a pitcher. Costas wins by 3 errors, 5 innings pitched, 2 wins, a loss, and 4 strikeouts by a pitcher. They tied in runs and triples. For Sherman on his bench this week, he goes 13 for 58. That's a 224 batting average. 4 runs that would have won the category. 4 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 5 walks, and 16 strikeouts. He had an amazing week as well. He hit 327 with a 378.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that like it'll be interesting to see if either of our offenses have a little bit of a power outage after having big weeks. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
Somebody's going to fall into a slump, and then the other
Right.
team might very well just keep this hot hitting going. So we'll see. We'll see. Only 2 ads used by Sherman this week. Jake Berger, 1 for 3 in the NA spot. He is now back in the lineup. And Jonathan Cannon, who took the loss and lost that category on Sunday for him.
Yeah, that's a risky move. Is throwing a White Sox pitcher against the Cubs on a Sunday when losses are tied.
He was the last one. He was the
And
last one available.
yeah, for a reason. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like elementary school dodgeball. Like there's a reason that guy's last.
Yeah. There's a reason that that's the last kid picked.
Yeah.
Cody Bellinger is the MVP this week for Mike Sherman. He's hitting 458 with a 536 on base, 6 runs, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. And one of those homers, I believe, it was last night.
Yeah, and half of those RBIs.
Yeah, a grand slam last night, late in the Yankees Mets game.
Like you just saw it like as soon as Cabrera threw that pitch before he even hit it, you just knew that that was going out. Like
Oh yeah,
it was just written.
yeah. The least valuable hitter is Francisco Lindor, who hit 167 with a 222, 2 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 3 errors. Those three
Yeah,
errors lost the category for him.
yeah. I mean that was it. It was 3-0 in the errors, and all three were Lindor's.
Mm-hmm. Spencer Schwellenbach is the Cy Young this week for him. 14 innings, 2 wins, 2 homers, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 386 and an 093. With a shout out to Andrew Abbott, who had 11 innings and a win with 12 strikeouts. So these two really carried the load for him on the pitching side.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Stephen Kolek, who last week was on the verge of being a Cy Young. He was a nice streamer, but this week, not so much. 5 innings, a loss, a 9 ERA, and a 180 with 3 bombs. Not a good
Yeah,
start.
yeah. I mean he threw a complete game shutout in Coors Field, and then he gets kind of beat up a little bit by the Mariners. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably more of the what you're going to get out of the Stephen Kolek. The complete game shutout in Coors Field is impressive, but it is the Rockies, so.